it is nothing better than to be honored by your peers and your colleagues. Only Kathy can say grasshopper communications. She has renamed Glass House to Grasshopper, and only she can do that. Imagine that. I'm loving this moment. The powerful women in my life. Thank you, Cheryl Sutton, powerful woman. Thank you, my mom, a powerful woman. I just want to share with you a short story on how Glass House found me. I didn't find Glass House. When I showed up to Lowell High School a few years ago in San Francisco, and I had never seen the diversity at Lowell High School. I was born and raised in San Francisco, grew up in the Bayview Hunters Point. Yes. Yes. And so going to Lowell was interesting. So what I had to do, or what I noticed, I could not speak the language, but I could subliminally watch. So I began to watch the communication style of nonverbal. I began to listen in a different kind of ear. And then I realized there was something that connected academics and the arts. So I began to take the flute and the clarinet, and my mom was already a pianist, and I began to play the piano. And when I integrated those, both nonverbal communication, looking at body language, connected the arts, I saw the power of communication on all levels through many generations, ethnicities, the whole, and I said, this is nice. I still continue to get my undergraduate degree at San Francisco State in accounting because my mom told me I wanted to have a lot of money. And even throughout that, the communication that I would engage in, writing press releases, writing grants, understanding that the same newsletter couldn't go to everybody. Your subject line had to be different. You had to say it differently, and that began to excite me. Then it goes on to TV and radio, and I began to do all that, and all of a sudden, I'm a publicist. This is great, so I just called myself a publicist. And we knew that anything that was illuminating, if you were able to get people on radio and TV and all of that, it just was attracting. So even though I continued the education in graduate school and currently in doctoral studies at Saybrook University, all of that was nothing like the excitement that I would get when I was able to change lives, change energy, and be in the communicating. By the way, the Facebook already has the pictures. They're already loaded. They're already up. Yes, they are. You've been tagged. And then the social media blitz that began about 10 years ago. Let me just share a little something about that, back to Glass House Communications. It wasn't about being on Twitter and Snapchat and all of those. It was about finding one or two that you could actually own and be an expert in, and the others would follow. And I began to do that as well. So I love Glass House Communications. I've had it for 10 years. It has been the bread and butter for 10 years. I love it to Reese's Pieces. I love it to Reese's Pieces, and I'm looking forward to the growth. And again, thank you, Kathy. Really, it's different when I definitely am appreciative of all the ladies, all the powerful women. I'm looking forward to engaging more with Miss Kimberly Ellis. I recently ran for office. Did you hear about it? Thank you. It was for the Central Committee in Contra Costa County District 1, Richmond El Cerrito. And while the numbers didn't come in for a seat, I got a call from the mayor's office. Part 2, that's coming later. I'll tell you about that later. And so when you have your peers and your sister friends to give you that phone call to say that you've been selected as one of the powerful women on the bay, I've been giddy ever since, if you can't tell. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me, everyone. I'm her brother, and Mama told me to say, come up here and say, this is from the fam.